Well, here we go again. Welcome back. Back on the Caddy. Finally. Travel's done, hopefully for the year. And it's time to start grinding on something. Holy cow. I feel like I haven't been down here in months. It has been a few weeks. So, where we left off, we had this all kind of rust-proofed. And then I just shot some of this over the top. It's also a converter, but it's maybe, I don't know, different. Just makes it black. You can paint over it or whatever. But that's what I did to the other side as well. So we'll just go with that. And over here, we've got our piece that we kind of just started dinking around on. We're going to go ahead and hack some of the side of this off and start getting it shaped up to hopefully get it fit. I'd like to get it kind of butted flush up to this, and then this top piece will wrap down the corner and we'll weld it down here along the bottom side. I'm gonna have to put extensions on both sides of the piece we're working on to get them to start coming up, so I can cut and butt this and get rid of the rest of this crappy rust. So that's kind of where we're gonna start, and I think before I do any of that, I'm gonna quick swap those bolts out on those mounts. And then we'll get into cutting that piece up and trying to start getting it fit in here. Well, if I were a betting man, this first one here is just gonna snap off. It feels like it's going to, for sure. 100%. And of course, I'm using my famous ratchet with broken teeth. Oh, man. I don't even know why I get myself into these situations. Might have to get a torch or something on it. I don't know. They've been soaking for a while. I was hoping maybe they'd bust free. Let me go get some more freeze off, and we'll hit it with that. And maybe it'll free it up. Okay. I don't think so. I think she's gonna break off. Oh, no. Yeah, she's definitely just twisting down there. Wish I could get a better angle of this light here. How about that? Is that any better? I don't know. Yeah, it's just twisting. The whole support on the inside is twisting. That's kind of what happened on the other side. I had to end up welding a new piece in there. See it? Can you see it move? Son of a gun. Oh yeah, there she goes. There's your rubber mount. There's your broken bolt. It's lovely. It's just lovely. You win some and you lose some. Let's go over here to number 2 so we can snap him off as well. Give it a good freeze. go. Oh. Son of a gun. That one's not going to go either, is it? Oh. Found the broken teeth in the ratchet. That's perfect. One of these days I'll go buy a new ratchet. Maybe. Oh yeah, that one's just tearing the stupid thing off. Yep. Son of a gun. Well, here we go again. Time for body mount repair. That's just wonderful. Just wonderful. All right, so on this one, I just cut across the lid and flipped the lid open and was able to just knock the remainder up through. We'll have to put this in the vise and try to torch this and get it out of this nut, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. This one here, we're gonna have to flip this lid up and try to get some channel locks or something on that nut and get the bolt off, or snap it off and pop the rest of it out to the top, just like we did here. So that's what we're gonna try to do here, and keep you updated on the progress. Be pretty boring just watching me try to get this apart, but I guess for anybody that may have one of these cars, it could potentially be useful. But in either way, to get to these, you got to cut this brace off here and all this crap. So, I mean, it's going to be a ton of work, which is why we're doing it now. We've got all this apart. And this little hold down guy here is seen better day. Probably gonna have to rebuild it or manufacture something that'll get us close to it anyway. So just trying to get access to this nut. We'll try to get channel locks or something on it, I guess, to hold it and just prop them up against here. I don't know, we'll figure something out. Okay, well, unfortunately, we kind of absolutely destroyed our little bracket thing, however. And I did cut the end of this bolt off so that you're not trying to get them really bad threads out. And she's starting to come loose now. She'll come out of there. So at least we won't have to try to grind or get the broken bolt off out of the nut. We'll just have to rebuild our little holding bracket, unfortunately. It just kind of is what it is. There we go. There's that. Here's the other side of that nut that I cut off, or the bolt, I mean. So there's our nut. We'll have to do some repair work on this little holder downer bracket guy thingamabobber. But we got both of our bolts out of the mounts, so that's a win. All right, well, took her over to the old grinding stone and ground off every last remaining crappy thread on this thing, because as you can see, my easy out didn't work. It just tore the threads and everything right off of it. So we'll go back over here to the vise and try to get this put in here and figure out something to get on that bolt to get her off. I might have to weld a nut or something on it to try to get her off of there. Okay, well, as you can see, the bolt's out. I was running out of nuts. I only had 3 left. I'm not super awesome at, you know, doing the old nut trick, but we got her. It worked. Thank the Lord. Almost ran out of my nuts. Anywho, now that that's done, we can proceed with getting these body mounts back together. And then finally start working on floor pieces. You know, can't do a whole lot with those if you're just going to cover up crappy body mounts. Okay, so I think what I might do on this one, set him back there, and I might actually just tack weld that nut to the floor once I get the bolt and everything all up through. I'll fold all this back over and kind of just tack the end of it back together. It's not going to weld for crap. But I probably just tack this nut to the floor or to the brace, and that'll hold it. Instead of dinking around trying to rebuild these, which were pretty chintzy to begin with. I mean, it wasn't a super good design to start with. So we'll kind of see how that goes. We'll put this bolt up through here, and the rubber is still where it should be. It's probably just stuck to the floor. And really the only reason I'm doing this is, you know, why not? You're already here, you got it apart. And two, if you ever wanted to replace these bushings or mounts or whatever, you could, without, you know, snapping bolts off and saying, oh shit, now what? They go up through these steel sleeves in the body, and here's our other one. We'll put that one, this nice flat side down. The threads in these are actually really good still. I could have run a tap through them, but I don't really need to. So this one we'll fold back over, weld this back together, probably tack this one too. I'll pull it back off and clean underneath it like I did this one here. But I think we'll do that. I don't know. This one's more intact besides this little side tang here. But it's in a lot better shape. You know, you can hold that back down like so and weld that across. And then kind of beef up the sides of this. Yeah, we'll try that. See what happens. This one here is pretty much just in really not good shape at all. So, yeah, we'll go with that for now and see how we turn out. Alright, I've got the welder on kill mode. So that should be fine. Get this guy in a good spot here. There, that should be pretty good. We'll just give her a tack on the one side and then see what it looks like when we go to snug her up. No, didn't get a very good tack there, did I? Probably because of all that coating that I sprayed on the floor, I didn't get it super clean. See if that helped us out at all there. Nope, nope. That's okay though, those tacks that I put on the sides, when I fold this all back together, those will help build those sides up to hold it, because this needs to get bent back in here to match up with the other side. Give that a couple love taps to get her back over where she's supposed to be. And this, same with this side here. And again, it's not super great steel that's left here, but I think we can make something work with it. Might have to just add a little bit to it or fill in some weld if we can. You know what I mean? And this one here, get him put back down there. This side needs to come in a little bit. Like so. All right, let me get the welder turned back down a little bit. And we'll try to get a little bit of a repair weld put on that. All right, we kind of got this little ear over here kind of repaired. We're going to do a little bit right down here. That way we can kind of build on it a little bit. I'm going to try to build a little ledge right over to tie into this other ear over here. That way we've got it connected over here. I think that'll work. I know this looks really, really chintzy and crappy, but these brackets, these little hold downs are just not in good shape at all. At all. So we're just kind of doing what we can with them, you know what I mean? Yep. Broken teeth. Ugh. I mean, it's holding just fine. It'll work or it won't, right? Now we gotta zip this one back across and get that bolt tightened up, and we'll have these old girls wrapped up. All right, there they are. New bolts in, little brackets repaired. That took forever. A lot longer than I was hoping it was going to. But whatever, she's done. Now we can move on to that floor. Get that cut down and start getting that some be fit up. Okie dokie. Well, here's this piece here cut down a little bit. We've got some trimming to do up in this corner. And like I said, we'll have to add on to this edge to get it starting up this corner. Same with this back side. But first I got to put my structure in it, my bead rolls. I'll have to go to the other side and take measurements on where those are, because I like to have them, you know, somewhat uniform, look, you know, similar anyhow. So that's what we'll do. And you can see here, this leading edge here needs to wrap clear up underneath along this. So we've got some adding to do over here, but no big deal. We'll get her. And we're gonna lay out where our bead rolls are gonna be on this and get those put in it, and then continue on from there. Okie dokie. Well, this pan's kind of trimmed down. I've got my bead rolls in it. You can see the fit over here. When I add to it, that'll work. Same with back here. I've got a little gap back there, and especially up in that corner. But we're gonna go ahead and cleco this down along the brace just to get the pan held where we need it, and then we can cut our strip and figure out where we want that. So we'll get our little 1/8 inch drill bit here. I believe that's what size it was. I don't know. It's been a while since I've, you know, worked on the old floor pans here. Might be time for a new bit. Oh, let's see. Hopefully she didn't move too much on me here. Get that one put in there. And let's see. We'll put another one up here. Let's see if I can actually hit the brace. What do you think? Right there? Let's try it. Give her a shot. Nope. This way farther. There she is. Missed her the first time. Alright, and then we'll put another one. Oh, let's see. How about right here? We're gonna hit something here. Got something. These little clecos are just the best thing ever. There we go. Straighten that one up a bit. Okay. There's our pan held in. Now we can do our strip. Do our other strip back here. Whoa, sorry. I don't know what you're looking at. We're gonna have to do a little something fancy here in this corner just to get the shape where you need it. And then we can work along this side here. Yeah, making progress. Just trying to get a couple little tacks to hold this strip on here. I'm gonna need to do the usual and shape this corner out. But I think this should work out up here to cut and butt this. I'm just trying to get everything kind of situated in a good spot and get some tacks done along the edge here. Okay, well, there's that side tacked onto the lower pan and ground down. Should fit pretty decent right up along here. And underneath our brace up here. Now we're gonna start working on making a strip for this backside, which you guys can't see very well right now because one of my lights died. So we're just gonna come up probably around in here somewhere and get a piece tacked on there. And then we might be able to get this first panel welded in. Trying to think of how I want to do it. Should be able to, and then we'll work on this over here coming down. I don't know, maybe we'll jump up and get that front section knocked out. I'm not sure. We'll have to figure that out here in a second. All right, we got our piece cut for this side here, and basically I'm going to put like a little 1/4 inch radius on the bottom just to right into this feller here, and hopefully that gives us a good shape to come along here. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Run it through again. It's kind of hard to do with small pieces. Okay, well that's a 1 inch radius, but as you can see it's not anything crazy, and that's because this top portion of this thing's not long enough to be able to hold it flat in here. So basically this is kicking up like this, and you need them to stay flat like this to get your actual radius that you want. But let's see what that looks like in here. Oh, it might actually work out for us. Let's kind of get an eyeball on the shape here. Let's set you guys down. It needs a little bit more of a radius on it. So I'm going to work on this and try to get a little bit more of a radius on that bottom edge. And then we'll see how we do. Okay. Now that there is a pretty good fit. I end up going down to a 1/2 inch radius along the bottom of this. And that will tie right into the pan and bring it right up this back wall. Once we get it tacked onto the pan here. So that will work out wonderfully. And then we just got to fool around with this corner get this corner set up. Normally I'll cut this ear off and make a separate piece to go in between the two. Whatever have you. We're gonna go with this, and I'm gonna get it tacked on. All right, that's tacked on there. That's gonna be really nice. It's gonna fit good, I hope. You know, when things go too easy, you know there's something wrong. And that went too smooth, which concerns me. But anyways, we'll have to take a little bit off of this top edge here. This pan will go down just a tickle, but not a ton. So we'll have to just take a little off just down here, because this bumps up a little bit up here, and we'll get more into the good metal. So that'll be good. Let me actually just mark that here. We'll mark it right somewhere in there. That's about where she starts to dip. And we'll just kind of draw a line. Maybe down just a tickle. Yeah, something about like that. Should be fine. All right, well, let's kind of jimmy this thing down in here. There we go. Throw a Cleco in her to hold her down. She's still a little warm from welding that piece in there. And let's find our hole. There it is. Put that guy in. Throw this guy in pert near right over here. And we have another one somewhere. Wherever it went. Where'd it go? I don't know. It goes right over here. Lost it. Probably fell through a rust hole and disappeared forever. Anywho, that is where we're going to stop for today. Pretty good progress. Got the motor mounts fixed. Got this pan mostly set up to get cut and butt in there. Should turn out pretty a-okay, I believe. So we'll be back down tomorrow after work and continue on the saga. Maybe we can get this thing kind of, you know, in place. Guess we'll find out. See you tomorrow. All right, well, we're back. We got this little corner piece made here quick. I took two pieces kind of, and actually what I did was I ran them underneath the bottom of the pan, and I'll just nip those off. That's kind of the only thing I could do to get that shape right, because I don't have quite the right stuff to do it, but it fits really nice in the corner up here where it's gonna go. So I'm gonna get this cleaned up, finish welding these two little pieces in here, and finish out that little weld. And then we'll get it set in there and go for the old cut and butt, I believe. All right, sorry for the air compressor. There's the bottom side. Turned out pretty good. There's the front. Not too shabby. Let's go check our fit up. It might be a little quieter in here. I don't know. Throw a Cleco in it and see how close I am to the hole. Look at that. Not bad. Not bad at all. I think that should work. Oh boy, look at that. How the heck did that happen? There was something getting pushed. Did I set a tool on this thing? We're burning carpet. Sorry, little Debbie. I thought I smelled something that stunk. Jeepers criminy. All right, let's get rowdy, shall we? So I did back cut this back piece over here off already because there's that brace right here. You wouldn't be able to get that out if you didn't take it out before you put the pan in. So just throwing that out there for you. Let's get our first tack set up here. All right. And I'm just using this big flat blade here to flush the two pieces together, if that makes sense to y'all. Go ahead and get another one up here. Okay. And we'll just work our way down just like we have in the past. And this panel is pretty tight, so having an extra hand wouldn't be a bad thing, but we'll try to get her flexed over here. It'll bend, it's just metal. Okay, now we'll have to, our cut ends right here, so we'll have to come down the line. We'll have to take a little bit of this knob off up here, put our helmet on grind mode, or cut mode if you will. Snip a little farther. I don't know which way this goes. Up. Get that one tacked in there. Now be sure to keep an eye on what you're pulling off the back side. You know, keep it pulled away so that you don't you know, end up welding it to what you're trying to get rid of. Give that a couple love taps to get her scooted back a smidgen. And it looks like we're gonna have to go another little cut here. Try not to go too far at a time, get ahead of yourself. I'm gonna nip this ear off of here. Looks like a good spot there. Put this back down and cut. So all you folks at home, don't yell at me. And we'll go ahead and shove this back here. Might give her just a tickle. Boy, I got the welder turned up, don't I? Maybe I'll give her a tickle down. She's a little hot. Nothing we can't repair. All right, and we are down, coming across. We might use this short little guy here for this cut. To get all the way through them. Sometimes these little angles can be just a bit tricky if you don't get her set up just right. Yep, that's good. That's good. We'll go down this way just a little bit farther. And as I said, always remember to make sure your piece behind that you're getting rid of is detached. We got one little spot right there that's still connected. There we go. Did you hear it go bing? Bring this light down here. We can fix, you know, any of your overcuts also, so don't freak out about that. No big deal. Okay, and that's all there is to it. You just keep working your way down, push it in or hammer it a little bit, make your cut, and just flush this panel into your old steel and just work your way around. You guys seen me do it on the back floors? Well, maybe not on the back floors. Yeah, probably. I don't remember how much of the floor thing I've recorded, but you know, don't want it to be just an absolute saga. So I'm gonna keep working my way around this, get this baby cut in, and from there we'll start working on the rest of the floor up here, over here. I'll do some recording on those as well, but for now, whew, it's hot. For now, that's where we're gonna call this one section number 1 complete, of many to go. Thank the Lord, that's, you know, done. Looking pretty good though. All right, well, Thanks for watching. Appreciate all you guys that love what we do and keep watching and following and commenting and liking and sharing and subscribing. All the good stuff. We'll see you next Friday.